Hey, welcome back, guys. Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 5 is right around the corner, and the title of the episode is The Nail That Sticks Up. Not only do we have an episode description, but we have a flurry of new pictures and images that offers us insight into just what the story may be in this mid-season finale. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my Patreon family. If you'd like to be the next one, hit the link pinned to the comments below. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things power. Here we go. The title of episode 405 is The Nail That Sticks Up, and the description reads, Rock and Marvin navigate a dwindling supply of product while Lou and Imani scout artists together. Joyce's condition worsens, and lastly, Famous's mother desperately tries to find him. The images coincide with this description and even deepen it to a degree. But first, let's get into the title itself, The Nail That Sticks Up. The title is derived from a Japanese proverb that fully reads, the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. It emphasizes the reverence of tradition and conformity to that tradition, and any deviance from the tradition is met with resistance. Those who are too different or conspicuous get criticized or sanctioned by others. So the question is this, what is the tradition in the hood, in the cultural context of the Raising Kanan environment, and who deviated from that tradition? And if they deviated too heavily, what were the consequences? The title from where this commentator is sitting directly links us not just to Famous, but his doomed fate. But let's get into some of the images. The first image we receive is that of Kanan and Jukebox on the couch with none other than Famous's mom. Here, we see the woman in unfathomable pain, likely searching out for her son and seeking answers from his series-long best friends. Both of them offer their own versions of concern, with Jukebox looking on as Kanan literally consoles Mama Fame by holding her hand and listening to her cries. It makes sense that we'll see her in this episode, as she was mentioned a couple of episodes back by Kanan himself. Him and Juke both wondering where Famous may have gone to, and sharing ideas about the matter over a lunch. The next image is even more interesting, as we seemingly get a flashback of the Famous family, his sister Jess to the right, his mother to the left, and a young adolescent Famous in the middle, playing with their family dog. Now this image could coalesce with the musings of a mother in search of her son and missing how things were way back when they were much simpler. But the fact that they're providing us with flashback imagery spells even more doom and gloom for the fate of Famous, and may even reveal his true fate when the flashbacks catch up from the past to the present narratives. We get another flashback in the next image, likely of Famous in school alongside his sister Jess and his mother to the right. The two women share a concerning look for Famous as they walk him into the school-like setting. So this may even be Famous's first day at school, and the two women who also serve as his protectors in his life apprehensively let him go off into the wild to learn the ways of the world on his own. Next, we get an image of Kanan rebuking Osi for some reason. This is likely because Osi has made a foul up in regards to Kanan's money, which he's directly over the supply. Now remember, when Osi was robbed by Unique, we saw Neek holding him at gunpoint, but miraculously letting him live. That means that he could potentially be using Osi to funnel money through Kanan. And Kanan here is getting wiser to the act and confronting his money man. This is all leading up to the wildest of confrontations with Unique himself, but it likely won't be this episode just yet. Next, we see Jukebox tragically looking on, likely due to what we see in the very next frame, which is both Jukebox and Kanan picking up their Grandma Joyce from the floor. Mama Joyce's condition is only getting worse, and these two images outline as such, both Joyce in physical despair and Juke in a mental and emotional one. Continuing on with Mama Joyce, we see Marvin at her bedside, likely in his own version of pain that parallels his sister Rock's. Remember, when Rock discovered her mother's condition, she had a furious yet emotional reaction to it. Marvin's reaction, on the other hand, was more surprise and awe. So in this scene, he may seek out some very painful answers for himself, in hopes that his mother can close that hole in his spirit, the hole that remains in all of the Thomas family members. Next up, we get a couple of images of Lulu and Imani Okoye, the new product manager for Rilla. Lou seems to be putting the old charm to work when it comes to Imani, and the exchanges that they're sharing just may be the start to their pending relationship and the never-ending mission for those cheeks. But on a more serious note, the next image we see is that of Rock seemingly chastising Marvin. Now we know that Marvin has had secret dealings with Marquetti, and that Rock was on to him prior to the demise of her lawyer Andre Barnes. So if there's another leak of information that incriminates Marvin as Stefano's secret muscle, then that's likely the origin of this confrontation. Maybe those detectives who were looking for Andre have brought Rock this information that's at the heart of this confrontation. We next see an image of Kanan holding a cassette tape of none other than Famous. At least that's what it looks like based on the label on the side of his hand. Now this could be one of their old cassette tapes from way back in season 1 when they made Streets Need a Body, or when they were trying to hustle those tapes at the top of season 2. Or this could be his new record, What's the 411? A record which, if memory serves me correctly, Kanan hasn't really heard like that. Now the record has been on the radio, but we haven't seen Kanan directly interact with it, to my recollection. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. So based on Kanan's expression in this scene, this could be the first time he's come in contact with that song. And because he understands the story in full, this will be all he needs to confirm what happened to his friend. Because just like with Streets Need a Body, Famous spilled the beans on the entire story for the world to know. The next series of images are comprised mostly of Rock and her drug business ventures. Speaking to the initial portion of the episode description, we see Rock and Marvin leaving what looks to be her warehouse, which was previously under attack by Unique in the last episode. Then, Marvin and Juke share a moment of clarity in the aftermath of Juke having to save Marvin's life by the way of the pistol. So this is them coming to some kind of resolution for that act, and Marvin getting an idea of where his daughter's headspace is following her first body. The next two images seemingly give us Rock confronting her now former supplier, Quan, who's been very visceral in his behavior towards Rock this season and even made a play at her son in the episode preceding this. This could be Rock informing him that she'll no longer need his services, as she's now made a solid connection. Or this could be Quan's final F you to Rock, and not only taxing her on her business, but limiting her supply altogether, trying to dry her out and sabotage her in order to push her out the game and elevate her son at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see when they finally collide. But as we know, Rock rarely loses, and Quan's time is coming. The next image we get is a surprising one. Because of the two Asian brothers, they usually give them grief. The one that Rock is pointing a gun at in this scene is generally the nicer one, albeit the dumber one. But maybe his brother has transgressed against Rock and made him none the wiser, leaving him in a place where he looks like he's playing with Rock. And we all know how Rock does when she feels like she's being played with. So this is another sign that their business is being sabotaged in some way. And perhaps the brother under duress and fire doesn't know it. And in the final image, we see Marvin confronting the brother that likely does. But his fate will be reserved for the episode in full, as Marvin just sits and laughs behind his back. But we know that some straightening is coming with that grin. But that will do it for this one. What are your thoughts on the episode 5 description and images? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.